Hey everyone, welcome back. You know that feeling when the first leaves start to fall and you get that little itch?
Oh, I know that itch.
No, not for pumpkin spice lattes, though I fully support that
All
too.
right.
I'm talking about that Christmas light itch.
Yes.
But then reality sets in, right? You think about the tangled mess, the burned out bulbs, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, the less glamorous side of holiday cheer.
So you decided to take a deep dive into maybe getting those lights up the easy way.
The stress-free way, hopefully.
Exactly. Specifically with this company in St. Joseph, Missouri, you know?
Oh, interesting. What makes this company stand out?
They claim to be St. Joseph, Missouri's top-rated Christmas lighting installation.
Big words, right.
Big words, right. So I was like, okay, let's see.
Indeed. Claims like that definitely make me curious, especially, in a market that's like totally saturated with holiday decorating services. I'm always interested in what makes one company think that they're the best. And then, do they actually live up to that hype? You know?
Totally. And this one really leans into that whole stress-free experience. You know what I mean?
Right.
Their website practically screams commercial-grade LEDs and custom-fit installation,
Okay.
which, okay, yeah, it sounds impressive on the surface, but I need a little more than just catchy phrases, right?
Of course.
So let's unpack this a bit.
Absolutely. Let's start with this commercial grade claim. It's a very common tactic. You see it everywhere. It's a way to elevate their offering, make it sound fancier. But what does it actually mean in practice? Are we talking about LEDs that are significantly brighter? Do they last longer? Or are they just like more expensive? I'm very curious to understand how this translates into tangible benefits for you, the consumer.
Right, because commercial grade could just be a bunch of marketing jargon, right?
Yeah.
We need to, separate the sparkle from the substance here. And speaking of substance, they also tout exclusive color options and customization. Is that just like code for we have more than one color of twinkle lights? What makes their approach to design, actually unique?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's easy to throw around these buzzwords, customization, exclusive, but the proof is in the pudding, right?
Right.
So I think to really assess this company, digging into the specifics is going to be key. But on the surface, it seems like their strategy is to kind of emphasize this blend of convenience, that's a big one, combined with high quality materials and then a personalized touch. So they're appealing to that desire we all have for a hassle-free experience, but they're also trying to promise that you'll get this really visually stunning display and it'll be tailored to your own individual tastes.
And that's where things get interesting, right? Because anyone can promise the moon and stars on their fancy website.
Exactly.
But how do they back it up? I did notice they have a whole section dedicated to customer testimonials,
Ah.
which, let's be honest, can sometimes feel a little too glowing.
Right, the ever-persuasive power of social proof.
Mm.
It's a classic marketing tactic, using those positive experiences, those happy customers, to reinforce your brand message. And it can be effective, for sure. For instance, I noticed one testimonial where someone compared their installers to magical elves.
Okay, Magical Elves definitely wins the award for most creative testimonial.
Right. I mean, it immediately brings to mind that stress-free promise, doesn't it? Like little elves are just going to magically take care of everything.
Okay, I'm picturing tiny glitter-dusted beings, like delicately stringing lights on my roof. It's a kid image. But beyond these clever comparisons and, maybe slightly exaggerated stories, are these reviews actually indicative of a broader trend of customer satisfaction? And more importantly, what can we glean from these experiences? Like, what can they tell us about what truly matters to their clientele? What are people actually saying?
Well, let's delve into a few of these testimonials and see if we can find some patterns. For example, I noticed one from Christy Landis. She mentioned that before using this company, she used to dread putting up lights. Like, it was a huge chore. But now she actually looks forward to it because the whole experience is just so effortless.
I think that says a lot about this company, They're able to shift the perception of holiday decorating from this big, stressful thing to something that's actually, dare I say, enjoyable.
It's like they're taking the eube out of merry and bright, which, let's be real, that's a pretty impressive feat.
It really is.
I have to admit, the idea of actually enjoying the process instead of stressing over it is super appealing. But enjoyment aside, let's talk practicality for a second.
Okay.
You mentioned that they offer custom fit installation, which again, on paper sounds fantastic.
Right.
But what does that actually look like in the real world? Are they like coming to your house, taking measurements, the whole 9 yards? Well, from what I gathered, it seems like their process does involve a personalized consultation. So yeah, they come into your property, they assess the layout, you discuss like your vision, what you're going for, and then they create a lighting plan that's specifically designed for your house. They factor in the architecture, your own style preferences, that kind of thing.
So it's not just like a one-size-fits-all approach. They're not slapping the same string of lights on every house on the block.
No, it definitely seems like they're going for something more tailored. And I think that emphasis on customization is really smart. It suggests that they're dedicated to creating a truly unique aesthetic for each client, which, again, likely plays a role in that high customer satisfaction they seem to enjoy.
Yeah, it makes sense. It taps into that desire for something unique,
Mm-hmm.
something that sets your holiday display apart from everyone else on the street. It's like
Yeah.
anyone can string up some lights, but this company seems to be offering more of a curated, personalized experience.
Yeah.
And that brings us to what I think is the most intriguing part of their whole business model.
Oh.
The whole leasing, not selling thing.
Yes. That's where things take an interesting turn, I think, because it's not a common approach in the holiday decorating world, which makes you wonder, what's the strategy there?
Exactly.
It certainly gets people talking, sets them apart from the competition.
For sure. And they make a big deal on the website about it being a better value, offering more flexibility, which I'll admit, when I first read that, I was like, wait, what? My brain kind of short-circuited.
Right. It's not immediately intuitive.
Help me understand this.
Right.
Why would someone lease Christmas lights?
I know, it sounds a little strange at first, but it's not as out there as you might think. Think about it this way. It's January, the holidays are over, you're probably already tired just thinking about it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And now you're faced with this daunting task of getting those lights down, detangling everything, finding a place to store them. Ugh, it's a whole thing.
The worst.
But with leasing, all that responsibility, it's gone. It falls squarely on the company. You don't lift a finger.
Okay, I have to admit that is a strong point in their favor. No more wrestling with tangled lights in my already overflowing attic. Sign me up.
Right.
But what about the cost? Because isn't leasing something long-term, especially, usually more expensive in the long run? Like, wouldn't you end up paying more over time than if you just bought the lights outright?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And to really answer it, we need to look beyond just that initial price tag. We have to factor in what I like to call the hidden costs of traditional ownership. Because think about it. Every year, there's a pretty good chance, actually, that some of your bulbs are going to burn out.
Oh, absolutely.
Wires might get frayed.
Yeah.
You might even have entire strands that just give up the ghost. And all of that equals extra money out of your pocket.
Ugh, don't remind me. I swear, every year, it's like a game of Russian roulette with those light strands. Will they work this time, or will I be making a mad dash to the store on December 23rd, desperately searching for replacements?
Exactly. But with this leasing model, that risk and all the added expense that comes with it, it shifts. It goes from you, the homeowner, to the company.
Interesting.
And I think that's a key insight here. Because now the company, they're incentivized. They've got skin in the game. They want to provide durable, high-quality lights that are going to last because they're the ones on the hook for maintenance and replacement.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about it that way, but it makes perfect sense. So they handle the installation, the takedown, any repairs or replacements.
Right.
It's like a built-in warranty for your holiday cheer.
Yeah.
I like that. But there has to be a catch, right? There's always a catch.
The catch, if you can even call it that, is that with any service, especially one that's all about convenience, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it?
Right.
Is the cost of this, of essentially buying yourself a hassle-free holiday season, justified when you look at the bigger picture?
So it's not like a simple yes or no. It's more nuanced than that. It's about figuring out what your priorities are. Like, what's more important? Saving a few bucks, maybe, or saving yourself that headache.
Precisely. And I think what we've uncovered in this deep dive is that this company, they're not just hanging lights. They're smart. They've tapped into something much bigger. This desire people have, and it's a strong one, for a holiday season that's seamless, personalized,
Yeah.
stress-free.
They've taken like the most frustrating parts of holiday decorating, the stuff that makes you want to tear your hair out.
Right.
Like the tangled lights, the bulbs that decide to die a slow, agonizing death.
Yes.
That ladder that never seems to be at the right angle, no matter how many times you adjust it, they've taken all of that and said, you know what? We got this. We'll take care of it.
It's brilliant, really.
And for some people, I get it. That peace of mind, That's priceless.
It really is. And this whole idea, this trend, I guess you could call it, of outsourcing for convenience, it goes way beyond just Christmas lights.
Oh, absolutely.
This is a glimpse into something much bigger, a trend we're seeing everywhere. Our world is just go, go, go all the time. Everyone's busy.
Nonstop.
And so it makes sense that in other areas of our lives, we're looking for ways to simplify, to free up our time and our mental energy.
So let's bring it back to our listener for a sec. They're knee-deep in holiday catalogs right now, maybe sipping on that pumpkin spice latte we talked about.
Yeah, right.
They're listening to us, soaking it all in, and probably wondering, okay, is this magical elf-powered Christmas light service right for me?
The big question.
What should they be thinking about? Should they be running out to sign a multi-year Christmas lights lease as we speak?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily recommend rushing into anything, but I do think this deep dive, it's given us a lot to chew on, some valuable insight that can help our listener make a more informed decision. At the end of the day, it's about looking at what they're offering and really understanding it, weighing the costs and benefits, the pros and cons, and then figuring out if this service, with its unique approach, fits into their own personal holiday vision, and of course, their budget.
Because those credit cards can only take so much holiday cheer.
Exactly.
It's like anything else, right? You don't just go with the first option you see. You shop around.
Always.
You compare. You weigh your options.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's not just about the price tag. It's about finding that service that really aligns with your own personal holiday style.
Absolutely. And that's something only our listener can decide. We can give them the information, but ultimately it's about what feels right for them, their home, and their family.
It's about finding the joy in the holidays, however that looks for you.
Exactly. And on that note, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We really have.
We've unpacked the marketing tactics, we've analyzed those customer reviews, dissected the whole business model. Hopefully we've shed some light on a decision that can sometimes feel a little overwhelming. Because let's be real, it's easy to get swept up in the excitement of the holidays, to just want everything to be perfect.
Absolutely.
But sometimes taking a step back, looking at things with a critical eye, that's how you make the best decisions for yourself and your family.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.